So I typically try to not go too specific into the identity, politics, culture stuff because it's a bunch of slop bullshit for low IQ people that are stuck in the past and that are dying out rapidly. But people keep asking me about this whole Amanda Seals interview. It's two white skinned women who are pretending to be Amistad's. But the thing is this, these women nowadays are just it's not just these women, it's the entire black community. They put themselves in a really bad position as far as society goes. They've kind of boxed themselves into a corner, and now they're more so on an island alone. But in their twisted minds, they assume that Asians and Latinos and all these other miscellaneous groups in the United States were going to join them in their fake gay war against white people. But if that's the case, then we would have to look at things from the eyes of a black person. I don't know if any of you have ever met anyone black, but everything is binary. It's either black or white. To be white is to be married. To be white is to have kids. To be white is to be gainfully employed and to love God. To be black is the opposite. To not have family, to not have kids, to not love religion, to think everything is racist, to be angry and alone. So when you ask us, which one would we choose? We're going to choose white. So for them, it's, oh my God, they want to be white. It's not that. We just don't want to be black. Black is evil. See, we're people with culture. We're not lost. We have a language. We have an ethnicity. We have a nationality. The Black Americans, they call themselves a color. They're not even Americans. They will die saying how they're not Americans, but they can't even get out of the country and get a passport that says I'm black from Blacklandia. They're confused. So what people don't understand is about Amanda Seals. She's gay. What these gay people thought was that they can organize the blacks and the gays and they were going to start this revolution. Nobody wants to be gay with you. You're going to have to be gay and trans and twisted and mentally ill on your own. They're looking at Latinos and they're saying, okay, these people are becoming more conservative and Christian by the hour. We are having families. We are getting married. The blacks are going in a complete different direction, but for some odd reason, they thought we were going to be with them. I don't know where they got that twisted idea from, but someone lied to them. So you see them lashing out. To be black is to be gay. To be trans is to be black. I've never heard anyone black say that that's not true. So it is true. Latinos and no other group in this country is doing that bullshit. You guys are going to kill yourselves on your own. To be gay is depopulating your own society. You can't have kids if you're gay. It's over. To be trans means you self-sterilize. You're mentally ill and you're confused about your gender dysphoria. You will never have kids. You will never get married. You will never have a family. That's why those kids are just going crazy, shooting people. They have no future anyway. And the blacks are trying to encourage us to do what they're doing because nobody wants to die alone. Baby, we are Americans now. We're Hispanics, we're Latinos, but we're Americans. We're not blacks. Blacks are not Americans. We are. You guys have citizenship because you were born here, but you'll never be Americans. You don't have a love for the country. You have zero patriotism. You've been spoiled by welfare and social services, so you're afraid to leave this country. At any given time, any of these blacks that hate America could have moved to South Africa. They could have learned to speak Zulu or Xhosa or another black language. No one's forcing you to speak English, which is a white language from England. It's a choice. But they're upset because now they're turning out to just be gay all by themselves. People are becoming less and less gay and less black. So they're becoming lonelier and lonelier. Take a listen. This is how confused these people are. This is only one. I'm going to play 2 videos for you.
Hey, that's I don't know. Homophobia is weird to me.
It is to me too, because I feel like in essence, but this is the big thing.
Like, why do y'all have time for this?
But this is the big thing. I always looked at it like, And I would say this all the time because I really didn't understand it. Like, how can a black person be homophobic when
two white-skinned women speaking as if they are just dark as night? This is the mental. Two white-skinned women can look in the mirror and say the word black. That means that they can easily lie to themselves, lie to others, and they cannot be trusted. If these two white-skinned women can look in the mirror and they see the color black, they're mentally ill. Don't forget that.
and it's in essence the same thing. Somebody hating you for something that you can't control. But the big issue is that there's a big amount of black people, old, young, and in between, that feel like that it's a choice. And that's where it goes.
What? Even if it was a choice, so what?
Because if my point isn't the same. So if my point is, how can you as a black person, right? And we know about our history here. We know about being discriminated against. People hate us for no other reason.
Well, let's not take it that far. You're 13% of the population. Well, you were 13% of the population. As of today, you are 9% of the population, thanks to Epstein's research and the vaccine. Next fact. People hate you because with your minority population, you're more than 60% of all the violent crime. Also, there is a culture of not snitching, which means a lot of people who should be in prison for violent crime are exonerated because nobody will show up to testify against them. There's not one race of humans in the United States, in our republic, because remember, we're not a democracy, because black people keep saying democracy. That's another thing people hate about black people. We're not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic. There's not one group of any humans in our republic that enjoy or want to live around black people. Why is that? High amounts of violence, high amounts of theft, will lie to you in your face. The thing is this, we've all had a shared bad experience with black culture. Now, there are individual good black people, but as a whole, we've all shared bad experiences with them to the point where we would rather work 100 hours a week than be poor enough where we have to live next door to black people. We all get up every single, let me tell you, do you know how cheap it is to live in the hood? Why is it that cheap? Because who lives in the hood? So it's pros and cons. We all would love to pay $600 a month for rent in Los Angeles. We would all opt out to do it, but it comes with there's one catch. You got to live next door to black people. Nobody is willing to risk their own lives and the lives of their children for $600 rent. So the further away from the black people that you live, the higher your rent will go up. Isn't that a fucking shame that that's the calculation that determines rental values in America? That doesn't mean that there's a problem with everybody else in America. That just means there's a really big problem with black people. See, you don't have a race problem in the United States. You just have a problem race. And it's unpopular opinion. And it's not something that people want to talk about because they're worried about being canceled, worried about being, somebody want to get online and talk about, oh, you look ugly or this. Nobody gives a shit about your opinion. You guys are gay. Nobody cares about what black people say anymore. Why do you think they played that guy yelling out the N-word with Tourette's, but they cut out the other parts of the show they didn't like, but they left that part in? They could have re-recorded it. No one respects them anymore. They don't have kids. They're gay. They complain about everything. And then they're sick from the vaccine. They're dropping like flies. We're not going to have to deal with the problem race in 20 years because of Epstein's research and Bill Gates and Kamala Harris making sure they all took it. Amanda Seals sitting here saying, well, I don't know why people don't like black people. What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you insane? The question is, what is there to like? That you can dunk? Well, that's what the fuck is so good about that? There's nothing that she can say to make you think that she has any brain cells left. She's completely confused and detached from reality. But let's listen to these two white-skinned women continue to banter on about bullshit, and I will correct them.
Than being. How can you hate a gay person when it's the exact same thing? They're fucking gay. They have no choice in it. But there's a group of people that feel like they do have a choice in it.
Even if they did have a choice, why do you care?
Oh, why do we care? Well, let's see here. First things first, every fucking gay person is now representing in all of our children's cartoons. Right now, it went from, well, we want to just get married to each other and stay to ourselves and live in our own communities to, well, I want to dress up as a woman and read stories to your kindergartner. Also, I want to be able to tell your kindergartner that they should keep secrets from you. And I want to become your kid's teacher in first grade. I want to put up a gay pride flag, which is a terrorist flag. I want to put it up in our classroom with a BLM flag. And I want to convince your kids that they're oppressed and they're less than, so that they would join my fake revolution. Also, it'll turn them against your parents. That way, when these teachers molest them, there won't be any accountability because they will be too afraid to tell, because they won't want to tell, because they'll lose the only thing they have left. Remember, they get you to ostracize your parents so that the school and the gay community becomes your family. And if you're molested by them, you'll lose both of your families. So then the kids really have nowhere to go. That's why they turn them against you. That is the policy. I don't want to, every time I turn on a good movie that I want to watch, magically at the end, there's some gay sex scene with two fucking men. It's unnecessary. It's all about conditioning people to let down your guards and accept the fact that there are people who want to sexualize your child, and you're a homophobe if you don't accept it. And you're a bigot. And you're a racist if you don't want these people to molest your kids and groom them. That's the side that Amanda Seales is on. That's the only part that we don't care about. If gays lived in their own community, like people from Mongolia or some other ethnic group, and they just had their own stores and their own shops and they left our kids alone, nobody would give a damn. The problem is they don't even want to get married to each other. They just want kids. They want access to kids. That's it. There's literally a group called Gays Against Groomers because there's such a monster problem with grooming in the gay community that there needed to be a group that came out and said, hey, they're not us. We're not like them. We're actually different, and there is a problem. We knew there was a problem, but they're just confirming it. We're not making this up or exaggerating. They target kids. Trans people target kids. Gay people target kids. If they stayed to themselves and up to their own devices, nobody would give a shit that they exist. I don't know what you do with your dick at night. You can stick it in a blender for all I fucking care. My issue with you is that you want to bother kids. You're recruiting from pools of kids. You want to be in schools so you can have access to fresh-minded kids who are impressionable at a young age. And parents, because this didn't happen to us as kids, we're oblivious to the fact that it's happening to our kids right now. And it's state sanctioned. The principals are covering up for the teachers. The teachers are covering up for the counselors. And they're all targeting your sons, especially if they're white. The black kids, they just hand them over. But it's the white kids that have parents that are a lot harder to get. And that's why these teachers hate these white kids so much.
It's not hurting you. Like niggas have choices all day long that make, like literally, like cisgendered heterosexual people make choices all day long that hurt other black people.
I'm cis.
Yeah, she's so gay that it hurts, but she's alone. Women were not meant to be Amanda Seales' age with no kids, no husband, no responsibility, no purpose. They were not meant to be that age. But listen what she thinks about us Latinos, because we don't want to be gay with her, and she was wrong, and now she can't come back from where she is. Take a listen.
Because you know how many Latinos are out here like, go Trump, who like want this dictatorship. You know how many Latinos don't give a fuck about black people because they want to be white so bad that they have assigned themselves to that whiteness? Give me a conversation about, I wish you cared about your lives so bad, so much.
Somebody I follow who is of Latin descent said, I wish you guys value your lives a little more.
And that's the number one thing that us Latinos, the reason why, even if we live close to blacks, Our kids don't play with them. We don't associate with them. We speak Spanish because we don't want to speak English, and these people think that we can talk to each other. We're not your friends. We're not your allies. We do enjoy the 600 rent, but we're fighters. Other races of people are a little bit more timid, not as aggressive, and they don't have the size. Latinos, we are big, we can fight, and we're not afraid of black people like Asians and other groups are. So we don't mind moving into the hood because there's strength in numbers. And we have our own gangs as well. So that's why we can deal with them, but we're already pushing them out of Compton, of Linwood. We're pushing them out of all these different areas that we've taken over in Los Angeles and around the country because they don't value families. They don't have families. They don't believe in families. To believe in family and to have kids and to get married and take care of your family is what blacks tell you are the hallmarks of white supremacy. So to be white is to love your family and to have a family and want to be married. To be black is the opposite. We don't want to be black. If that's what it means to be white is by taking care of our family and having kids, then we're white. If that what works in your small binary mind of confusion, of gayness, then that's fine with us. Somebody calling us white is not an insult. It's a compliment. Because you got to think, well, what is the opposite of white? It's black. In which universe is someone calling you black a compliment? That's the worst insult that you can call somebody because that means you're calling them gay. Nobody wants to be gay with you guys. You guys are gay on your own. And why do you think as soon as a black person gets married, they say he's not black anymore? As soon as he gets a job and starts making money, he's no longer black. As soon as he wants to have kids, well, he can't have kids with a black woman because the black woman is naturally a victim of everything. So your kids are going to be victims. People want their kids to be Americans, not victims. You're not a victim in America. There's only one group of people that still share that delusion. And that group is dying out so fast. Amanda Seales is withering away. She's past the age of being able to have kids. She will never replace herself. Her mental illness and her ideology dies with her. Her vagina is no more good. Nobody wants her. She's a permanent victim. She's not even good enough for sex. She's cooked. It's over. But you can still hear people bring her online because there's still a handful of black people that love to feel like victims. Why do you think this Gavin Newsom situation resonated with so many black people where they liked it so much? Let's take a listen. Actually, it's this video. Let's watch this one.
I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you. I'm like you. I'm no better than you.
He's talking like a robot because the black mind is feeble. It is the equivalent of a 4-year-old in groups. Some as individuals can understand the people that you can talk to that are black, that are not heavily autistic. They'll tell you that he sounds crazy. But when we step back and look at the community as a whole, I can understand why he's speaking to them in a 4th grade level and why he says to them, I'm just like you. I'm an idiot. I scored a 960 on the SATs. Do you know you just spelling your name correct, you get like an 870 or something? That means you are stupid as fuck. And there's no excuse for that if you are grown up and raised in America. But it depends on how you lived here. Were you raised American or were you raised to be black? If you're raised to be black, then being dumb is being cool. And if you try to teach a black kid something or work on them with their grades, well, that's considered racist, which is why they got rid of all the standards in schools so that these kids who cannot read, spell, or add are still passed up through grades and graduated with a 3rd grade level for basic understandings of any curriculums, which is bad. The rest of us are held to a higher standard. The black kids, because these schools don't want to seem racist, the district doesn't want to seem racist, they are still graduated. And then an HBCU will bring in these kids who are reading at a 3rd and 4th grade level, and then will have the nerve to give them a diploma and tell them you guys achieved something. because they can't hold you back either, or the HBCU will be accused of being racist. Then when you try to get hired in the workforce and you don't fit the culture and you're not good at your job and you get fired, well, now the company's racist. The whole thing is a dead and archaic and dying system. This whole pipeline of treating blacks special, it doesn't work, and it killed them off. They told you were super special. That's why you had to take the vaccine first. You guys were cooked anyway. It's over. So now we have to move on. But this is the reason why Gavin Newsom felt so comfortable saying this, is because of idiots like fucking Amanda Seales.
I'm a 960 SAT guy. And, and I'm not trying to offend anyone, trying to act all there if you got 940. But
he's a fucking liar. Gavin Newsom scored no less than a 1220 on his SATs. He is a fucking liar. He's a liar. But he understands his audience. Now he's wasting his time. They're not going to be the ones making up a majority of his voters anymore. There have been millions that have died since 2021 in California specifically. His base is really just the illegals and the gays. And he is at this convention working on the black gays. It's not, and they're in Atlanta. So this is about his presidential, this is not him being reelected. This is about his presidential run. This is a waste. But he says, I'm just like you, a 960 SAT, and the mayor of Atlanta, who I'm sure scored far above that, is laughing at the audience. But maybe they are too dumb to realize that they're being basically made fun of. If you're so dumb that you think this is funny and you don't realize they're insulting you, then that means that what Gavin Newsom is saying about them is correct. That's why I don't feel any type of way when I talk. I'm not just saying this to say it. I explain everything in detail and I show the evidence. And if somebody has a counter argument, let's have the conversation. But it's hard to have a complex conversation with someone when they're autistic. They're not, they just get angry and get frustrated. And I mean, they don't want to fight, but they do get, if they could, they would, that's how we get to where we are now.
Literally a 960 SAT guy. I cannot, you've never seen me read a speech because I cannot read a speech.
Oh my fuck. So he's basically saying, I mean, what do black people pride themselves on? Not being able to read, only being able to count money, not having, and being gay. And that's the only thing that, and being trans. There's nothing else that people are saying that they're so proud of when it comes. That's it. That's the whole culture. So when you go back to someone like Amanda Seales, she's just mad that we don't want to be gay with them.
Because you know how many Latinos are out here like, go Trump, who like want this dictatorship. You know how many Latinos don't give a about black people because they want to be white so bad that they have assigned themselves to that whiteness. Maybe a conversation about, I wish.
It's not our job. We are adults. It's not our jobs to give a fuck about anybody but ourselves. We have our own families to worry about. Fuck you and your family. You are on your own. You're black. Go take care of your black family or lack thereof and go sit in the corner. You're on a gay island where you're fighting an imaginary war against white people that you already lost. If you really were serious about your hate and anger for white people, you would have left this white country and you would have stopped speaking a white language. You're literally living under white people where they're the majority. You could have renounced your citizenship and you can learn to speak fucking Swahili. Why are you still engulfing yourself in white culture? You're a grifter, but you grifted yourself into a corner and then you found out that nobody wants to jump off the bridge with you. You jumped on your own. She threw away her best child rearing years and marriage years. She threw them away fighting in a fake revolution that nobody else even paid attention to, that never came to fruition. No one was about to start attacking white people to show themselves solidarity to you. Are you insane? You have nothing to offer but pain and lies and fucking insults and just trauma from nothing. The only thing you can offer is mental illness. And you're mad that everybody else is not sharing in your mental delusion. And she's frustrated as hell. Look at her.
You cared about your life so much.
Somebody I follow who is of Latin descent said, I wish you guys value your lives a little more.
So her response to somebody like myself, and this is what I always say, I said I would spend more time with Black people if they valued their lives a little bit more. Her response to when we all say that, everybody of every race says that about Black people, that their whole world would be different if they just valued their lives more. And her response was, shut the fuck up. And herein lies the problem. We don't want to live next to you. We don't want our kids around you. We have very good reason because you guys are dangerous and you don't value life. You don't have families. You have nothing to lose. We have everything to lose. We're Americans. We're going to be moving forward here in this country. We have a country to save from you. The good thing is the vaccine has already saved the country from you. Now we can move on to bigger and better threats like China and birthright citizenship and anchor babies and the push from the World Economic Forum to invade the United States with the third world from these Islamic countries. The Black threat is neutralized thanks to the vaccine and Jeffrey Epstein. Now we have other things to worry about. But periodically I will point these things out because these videos, my videos are not always played instantly. People play them weeks from now and they share them. And this is information that people are going to say, I've actually figured this out. I've been thinking the same thing, but no one else wanted to talk about it. I'm not necessarily worried about winning popularity contests with everybody. I'm a man. No one likes men. No one likes us. So I'm not used to that anyway. I don't need everybody to praise me and tell me I'm right. I already know I am. This is through life experience. And I love my Black friends, but my Black friends are not these fucking psycho gays like Amanda Seals that don't understand why people don't want to be around them. Even my Black friends don't want to live around Black people. I wonder why that is. As soon as people get money, they don't want to get away from Black people. Explain that and then show me how that's white supremacy. It's because, because once you get money, now you're no longer Black. You get it? Now they call you white. To be Black is to be poor too. To be Black is to be gay. To be Black is to be mentally ill and trans. To be Black is to be poor. To be Black is to be dissolute. To be Black is to have no country, no nationality, no religion. I have all of those things. Not confused at all. Let me know what you think. If you agree or disagree, like, subscribe, share the video. I'll be back on with another topic in about 20 minutes. Remember, it's America first and America only.
I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.